guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back at the original filming spot location because guess what? We have one of those cars that's been around for a while, but guess what? This is the last year. This is it though. This is a 2022 Toyota Avalon. Our particular one is not only a hybrid, but also the top limited trim. But before we get into this full size, full fuel sipping of a sedan, let's talk about what's going on. Toyota. They've been doing the business for decades, making reliable, long-lasting cars that are very efficient when it comes to fuel. Now, everybody knows Corolla, everybody knows Camry. The Avalon is one of those names that's kind of come and gone over the years, hasn't had the consistent run of the other two, but definitely brings full-size sedan. So when I say full-size sedan, you can't think Honda Accord, you can't think Hyundai Sonata, you got to think Genesis G80, Nissan Maxima. Those are going to be your full-size sedans. Now, when it comes to this overall particular one, you're going to get that great hybrid technology. It is front-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. And the sad news, which may not be sad to you, is that they're killing it off after 2022. They're just not getting the sales like they are on the Camry side of things. And as the Camry has grown, it's sort of been encroaching on the area of this Avalon. Plus, wait until you get into the interior. This car is really blurring the lines between Toyota and its premium brand Lexus. So what I want to find out is it now or never to buy one of these Toyota Avalon hybrids if you need that full-size sedan space and capacity, or should you maybe go with a Nissan Maxima or go with the smaller Toyota Camry? Let's go ahead, let's dive into the last of the 2022 Toyota Avalon Limited. Right off the bat, the style. They really woke up the style of this car a few years ago. For a while, it was looking like a refrigerator with wheels, but now it's got some distinctive style. You're gonna get full LED headlights up front. I actually love the way they shaped the headlight housing. You can see all the detail inside underneath the lens, LED turn signals, and daytime running lamps. You work your way down, functional, not fake, massive corner air curtains to help clean up the air around the front of this larger sedan. And remember, when it comes to a hybrid, just like an electric vehicle, to help get that extra range and that better fuel efficiency is to clean up the aero at the front end of the business. Now, as we coast across the grille, you're gonna get that Toyota badge with the blue. That signifies that this is a hybrid vehicle. We do have a forward-facing camera. This is the specific grille, metallic gray to the limited trim. And I like all the nice horizontal clean bars. And then you're gonna get full functionality on the bottom portion. A lot of people would say it looks like a catfish or a whale shark, but I don't know. There's something that just, I don't mind it as much as I do on other vehicles. And then you do have the chrome around the perimeter of the grille because of this being a limited. Now, if you want the fancier, sportier look, you could go Avalon TRD. But now when we get up onto the hood, low slung hood, simple, clean design. You're just gonna have your two peaks that kind of flow cleanly into the A-pillars. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire on our limited trim. This is actually an 18-inch wheel. So I'm kind of surprised no 19 or 20-inch wheel, but it actually fills up the opening pretty well. Nice bright metallic silver. I love the multi-spoke design. It's a 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall, front wheel drive based. And then I like the way around the fenders, no stuck-on badging, no fake vents, none of that junk. Just really clean and very classy. Going down the rest of the vehicle, you're gonna get color matched on the mirror caps, a little bit of chrome, and you got itsy bitsy turn signals in the corners. You can see from the side profile the size of this sedan. And like I said, it's larger than a Camry. Even though Camry's got plenty of room, this has even more so. You got a standard size sunroof. Don't have to worry about blacking out the roof because I think that would kind of ruin the classiness of this particular trim. You get the bright shiny metalwork top and bottom, color matched on the door handles. And then on the lower portion, they did a great job with the sill, giving it some character, but not going too crazy. Nice size on the quarter window. And then as we swing it around the back, just like the aggressive angles up front, it gets really aggressive out back. You're gonna have your full LED taillights. I love the way they kind of bring in that lower bumper area and then extend it out. Of course, limited hybrid with the Avalon badge, the blue, it all means fuel savings. And then dropping all the way down, you can see the width of this vehicle. The one thing that I'm gonna zonk on the outside is this fake vent. I don't know why they need to put this on the lower bumper. They should have just left it smooth. I think it would have been just fine and nobody would have cared. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk MPGs of our full-size Avalon. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts now. This won't compete with a Maxima against horsepower numbers or a Genesis G80, even though both of those are full-size sedans. What you are gonna beat them on is that MPG. So what do we got underneath the hood to give us the fabulous numbers? You're looking at a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline four, tasteful engine cover, nothing too gaudy, nothing too bland. It's gonna be mated to 2 electric motors. That's gonna give us combined 215 horsepower. It is also connected to an eCVT, so that's gonna be the zonk. I wish it did have a conventional torque converter automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds. Top speed is governed to 116 miles an hour. The car weighs 3,718 pounds, but here's the kicker. MPGs, 43 in the city, 43 on the highway. Take that, Genesis. You're not touching those numbers. And that's what you get when you also have that full-size versatility. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the interior because there's some special finishes that will make you think this is a Lexus. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Avalon Hybrid limited trim. This is it. This is the end of the road for this car. And it's kind of interesting because, like I said, the Camry's good. It doesn't have as much space as the interior of this one. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, it really isn't my style. But after hearing those MPGs, ooh, I'm starting to like that. What about the price? Am I really going to like that? Very good question. MSRP for this particular one is right around $43,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. We start off at the top. We got real open pore wood. This is another area where you got to watch out for splinters, but also it blends the lines like a Lexus product. If you notice in the middle of the door panel, we have tan leather interior. That is not soft tex. It's real leather cowhide. Love the stitching. Another area where it looks like a Lexus product. And then the door pocket is a pretty decent size. Maybe one Big Mac and a nice medium Coca-Cola to wash it down, and you'll be good to go. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, we got more of that wood finish, more of the leather, the stitching. We got the optional JBL sound system, and infotainment system, it's unique. I don't really love the way it leans towards the windshield, but I do like the way it's a 9-inch infotainment system. It's the older operating software. So if you wanted the, hey, Toyota, this one doesn't do it. Hopefully the next Camry, I know the next Corolla is gonna have the updated software, but this vehicle we don't have to worry about anymore because they're killing it off. It is a full touchscreen, which is great. You could zoom in, you could zoom out any way you wanna go. We could pull up the menu, kind of bland. I wish it had a little bit more color, but you could get into your climate controls, obviously dual climate. And if you don't like to touch the screen, like you have a phobia against screens, we do have physical buttons. So as we come down, you do have 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, the power on button, because this is a hybrid. Everything else, like I said, easy to get to. You got a nice little cubby down here for about 6 Twinkies, but if you want to charge your phone, you're gonna have to eat the Twinkies, and deep down in there is a wireless charging pad, which is nice. Close it up. This is gonna control that eCVT transmission. You got a cup holder for your round drink. You got a cup holder for your U-shaped drink. This is perfect for a Capri Sun. You get the pouch in there. Remember how hard it used to be to get the straw to go into the Capri Sun? I got a bunch of buttons over here for modes. I'll show you more of that on the business side. Soft leather. This is like Charmin soft. Open it up. Look at this. Yes, that's the sound it makes. You have a felt lining tray here that you could take out. This is for all your Smurf figurines that you collected back in the 1980s, so you don't scrape off the blue off a Smurf. Because what would you call a Smurf if they're not blue anymore? I don't know. Put that in the comment section. We got a USB-C and 2 USB-As, and we got more felt lining in here, so you can put Gargamel. Just drop Gargamel in there. You know you slept with Gargamel, your little doll, when you were a kid. Oops, didn't do that right, but I'm gonna do that now. I want it to be perfect just for you. Seats, they definitely got these perfect. the leather, the softness. Kind of interesting how they went on this pattern, but it is ventilated. I love the stitching, even on the bottom portion. And then of course we got full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. My one biggest zonk besides the screen is gonna be what's up top. You just have a standard size sunroof. It would be nice to have a panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over here? I wanna show you behind the wheel of this Avalon. All right guys, business time. You do have 2 memory seat settings. Tasteful Avalon badge. I wish it lit up though. It does not light up at night. Just would have been that one little touch to make it feel like a true luxury sedan. You got your seat controls, nice lower lumbar, keep you out of the chiropractor's office. I'm 6 feet tall, and you can see how a full-size sedan, you're getting full-size space in here compared to a Camry. Not like a Camry small, this is just a little bit bigger. Steering wheel, I'm actually digging the two-tone. I don't know why. I guess because other than that, Toyota steering wheels are pretty bland, so it kind of just like spruces it up a little bit, but everything else is your traditional Toyota steering wheel. Nothing bad, it's just a little bland. You do have manual tilting and, electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then the dash. 7-inch display in the center. You have a cornucopia of information to toggle through, and then you got your power gauge and charge gauge on the left. You got your coolant gauge, and of course, your speedometer and fuel gauge. But nice to have all of that, and there's a good size head-up display, 10-inch head-up display. But why don't we get our heads up and go into the back seat and see just how much we could fit in this full-size sedan. All right guys, back seat time, and this is really where the Avalon lays the smack down on the Camry, even the G80 and the Maxima. And what's crazy is I'm sitting on a battery pack. Underneath the rear seat is where the battery pack is for this hybrid. Now, the great news is you get the tan leather all the way around, nice large pockets. What can you use these for? Think about it. You're driving around your book club, your friends in your book club, they could keep their books in the back seat for them. Beowulf, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, maybe even The Grapes of Wrath. Great stories, and while they're reading, they'll have a nice little command center to keep themselves cool with rear AC vents. You got 1 stage of heated seats, so either you're hot or you're not, and then you have 2 USB ports, 1 USB-A, 1 USB-C. Close it up. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room back here. I even got some room, maybe you could have some muffins, maybe some Entenmann's coffee cake back here while you're doing some book reading and you're getting chauffeured around. Armrest, Charmin approved, 2 cup holders, and you know what? You could keep a couple Slim Jims in there, because I know after I eat a piece of Entenmann's coffee cake, I want to wash it all down with some fake meat in a stick. Perfect for a Slim Jim, snap into it. And what I do like is the seats have the same material. All of that perforation, all of the stitching really gives it a nice, clean, cohesive look. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the trunk and see how many books we could fit back there for your next book sale. Let's go check it out. All right guys, time to get in the trunk. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find the button right there, just lifts up, and you're gonna be greeted to a nice, wide, large opening, very low cargo floor. And that's what I'm liking about this Avalon. And if you don't want an SUV, you could still go sedan and have plenty of cargo space. So you got 17 cubic feet of cargo space. I like the way they got the handles up top to fold down the rear seats, because they do fold 60-40 split. You got this Avalon cargo mat that's worth an extra 5 horsepower. And it's really easy to lift up the cargo floor, and you get a full-size spare in the back, which is another nice touch, because a lot of vehicles are getting rid of their spares. You go ahead and take this little latch, lock it down. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go ahead and hypermile this thing and see how far we could go on throttle. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Avalon Limited Hybrid. Right away, I've always liked how these drive. Not only for cruising, but definitely in this hybrid for getting that extra mileage from the range that's going to allow you to not have to make as many stops at the fuel stations, which is great. Visibility is king in here, and getting to everything is well within reach. I like the way that the screen frees up space. I just don't like the way it's tilted towards the windshield. A little bit of glare on there, especially with the amount of gloss black around it, but I'm very happy that it's not just the menu options that you choose from, like climate control, is you could adjust the climate right from the driver's seat with the buttons and all the switch gear. Of course, on a hot Florida day, it's 91. I got the ventilated seats on. And I think where you really see the separation between the Avalon and a Lexus ES350 is gonna be the sound deadening quality. This has pretty good sound deadening material, but the Lexus takes it up another notch, especially with like the thickness of glass. It's a little bit more road noise in the Avalon, especially when you close the door, but seats feel phenomenal, nice and supportive and comfortable all at the same time. I like the way I got the hybrid set up on the display, letting me know what's going on with charging, and when I'm on the power or in eco mode, it changes colors and everything. And if you don't like that, you can scroll through other information as well, including just a digital speedometer. But I kind of think that if you got a hybrid, it's kind of nice to show that. And then obviously bring back up the map. There's our infotainment system map with the navigation, and just great feel, you know, nothing too sensitive. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode. When you do that, that's gonna change how the throttle sensitivity is, steering, and how the eCVT behaves. But the head-up display, very clear, very nice and large in size. And then just everywhere you're touching, they did a great job on the materials in here. All right, guys, let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Have it in sport mode. In this right-hand bend. Not a corner carver by any means, but definitely having the battery a little lower in the chassis helps with handling. And you know what? 0 to 60 in the 7-second range is halfway decent, especially when we're only looking at a little bit more than 200 horsepower in this full-size car. But definitely everything fits very well together, and all the finishes in the limited trim, I'm telling you, this thing, it does feel like a Lexus. And obviously that's a good thing. But drivability, really nice. You got your wireless charging. It's just the eCVT, when you're on throttle, has that, you know, that engine drone, because there's no simulated gears really. And that really kind of takes away from the driving experience a tad. Conventional automatic transmission, torque converter automatic would suit it a little bit more, but definitely very responsive. I'm gonna go ahead and move this because it's making some noise. It's kind of bothering me. But here we go, on throttle, in sport mode. Nothing too crazy, but I think the craziest news is getting 43 miles per gallon. I mean, that, to me, in a full-size sedan, is just simply mind-blowing. But on the brakes, handling's actually pretty composed, very smooth. Would have been nice to have that panoramic sunroof, but let's see how this Avalon does out on the highway. All right, guys, getting on the highway. Let's try out passing gear. On throttle, here we go. Mirrors work great. You got all the Toyota sensing technology to keep you and your family safe, but do you hear that wind noise? That's what separates this Toyota Avalon from a Lexus product, is that it has a little too much road and wind noise that you wouldn't have that in a Lexus. But other than that, just a very smooth drive. Everything laid out in a smart manner that's easy to understand, easy to comprehend. And I think that it's going to allow your passengers to really appreciate the extended range that you're going to get out of this sedan because of how comfy it is. You know, what's nice is because of the 2 electric motors, you're getting a pretty good jolt when you go on throttle because of that electric assist. And this does have pure EV mode. But watch, on throttle, here we go. Everything kicks in and we are off and running. Nice over the bumps, especially if you're living in some states where the roads are really ripped up. I think you're gonna enjoy the way that the tuning has been done with the suspension. And this is it. 2022 is the last year of the Toyota Avalon. So I'm guessing that if you want one, you better get on it, especially with the MPGs that this thing produces. But hopefully you've enjoyed the overview of this Avalon limited trim. I'm going to get back to where we all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day. Definitely want to thank everybody over at Toyota USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is it now or never for you to buy one of these Avalons? Do you like the MPGs that this delivers, plus the style and the space on the interior? Let me know in that comment section, or would you rather just say the heck with MPGs and just go with a Genesis G80? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We got to give it up to the guy who saves the show every time, Stephen Flood from Flood Photography, doing all the filming. Show Stephen some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.